So this Megyn Kelly woman, 47 years old, works for NBC. I'm not sure if she's been fired yet, but she made a comment on someone doing blackface.
Right.
I think it was an actress,
Mm-hmm.
some I guess Z-list Hollywood actress or something, where she didn't really do what I wouldn't really call it blackface, but what she did was she blackened. And when I say black, I don't mean brown. She blackened her skin, her arms, her legs, and her face. But there wasn't a wig. There wasn't the rest of it. I wouldn't really call it a blackface. I'd just call it stupidity, in my opinion.
So,
I mean,
and this is a woman who did this.
Yeah, a woman did this, and another. I think it was there was a singer who was a fan of Diana Ross. I don't know if you heard about that, but she dressed up as Diana Ross, apparently, with a massive afro wig, and she browned her skin, but she didn't blacken it like the fucking, the 1800 minstrel shows. Like that's blackface to me. The minstrel faces with the nose and the red or white around the mouth and the completely black. That's blackface to me, not fucking just darkening your skin tan or your skin tone. But I can see how people were offended by the black skin thing. I get that, but I don't know. It's like with what's his name? The guy who is it Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah, when he did that on Tropic Thunder, yeah.
That's kind of like imitation versus mockery. Like there's a clear distinction between the two. He was imitating, whereas blackface is mocking. So that's what
debatable, but I get what you're saying, Daniel.
I mean, yeah, I can, like I said before, I can see how people would find it offensive.
Because wasn't Tropic Thunder a comedic movie as well?
I think so, yeah. It was like an actor playing an actor playing an actor or something.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, it's like blurring between the lines when it comes to what Robert Downey Jr. did. But I was gonna say, you heard what Spice, the dancehall artist, did recently?
No, what happened?
Did what black women, especially Caribbean and Jamaican black women, tend to do: bleach their skin.
Oh no.
Yeah, Spice. Yeah, the dancehall artist Spice. Yeah, just the same way that Vibes Cartel did the same thing too.
Yep. That's why I stopped listening to his music, because he was talking about fucking, what was it called, cake soap?
Oh my
bleaching skin and all that shit. And
yeah.
I don't support self-hatred. So
nope.
Yeah, it's mad. I still don't understand how these fucking people, like, how long has he been in jail for? Vibes, like.
Oh, Buju's getting out of jail soon too.
Oh yeah. Is it this year, right?
I believe it's in December. Hope it is the end of this year. If not, it's very early 2019. Like, man. But I was actually watching Chronicles of Judah. And I was thinking about because I'm watching a video called The Astute Black Man versus the Liberal Interracial Couple. And the thing that got me pumped up watching that video was, I was like, this is a point that I always made when Judah said that there is no such thing as white supremacy, it's rulership. That's all it boils down to.
True.
Man. I'm glad that there are people speaking up about this, because at one point I was probably one of the only few people who actually said this stuff back in the day. And you heard a sister named Irene Yvette?
Irene Yvette. Did she used to work with Moise Watkins?
I don't know. I don't keep up with old Simp Watkins. But no, you're thinking of Yvette. No, the one with the glasses. I'm not talking about her. I know who you're talking about, but no. This is a new sister who actually was on, Thomas's show.
Oh yeah. No, I haven't really been watching him.
Neither have I. But that Negro tends to pop up on my recommendations for whatever reason. Granted, I do like to keep tabs on him, and he was on. It just was there, so on my subscription. So yeah, she seems like a very intelligent sister. But if I know that, man, what's gonna happen is there's gonna be some disconnect there. There's gonna be a point where he sees a weak spot and a vulnerable point, exploits it, and then conjures up some sort of beef like he usually does, since he did get the name Mr. Controversy. But I don't want to emphasize on him. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the whole thing with them changing the Black History Month to Diversity Day or something in Britain. I did mean to ask you that, by the way.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true. I haven't heard anything about it. I can't find any articles. Could be a hoax or, like a viral trick. Fuck knows. Mm-hmm. But it'd be... I don't know, to be honest, because I have mixed opinions about it, really. On the one hand,
that's kind of ironic.
Yeah, exactly. On one hand, I can kind of see what the shit, man. It's difficult.
You know, one thing that lets me know something, especially when I watch brothers like College and Judah, and even hear statements that I make and statements that you make, and listening to Brother Kel once in a while and other YouTubers and Quests. It's a reminder that race ain't shit but an artificial construct. There's no such thing, literally and scientifically speaking, there's no such thing as black and white. That's an so saying black and white skin color is an oxymoron in itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally a shade. It's not a color. It's literally a shade.
Well, I mean, the stats is, this goes back to when we were talking before about, I think, American law being founded on Muslim law. And then you've got the Christian color codes and all that shit. With the denationalizing. Mm-hmm. And then labeled black and white instead of actual nationalities and all that shit.
Yeah.
Because you can't have two mothers, So how can you have two nationalities? African and American?
Yeah, actually, there's a book on my Amazon playlist. Wish list. It's called The Moorish Treatise.
The Moorish Trees.
Yeah.
Yep. Who's it by?
Let me go check, as a matter of fact.
Shit.
Glad you asked.
Moorish Trees.
Moorish Treatise, Daniel.
Oh, treaties.
Treatise, yes.
Ah, yeah, I got you. Man, it's hot in my room. Shoof.
It's gonna be a prick. I got so much books on my wish list, it's not even funny.
Oh yeah, man, you should see mine. I've got several. I've got ones on religion, spirituality, history.
Same here.
Food, all type of shit. Yeah.
I have mixed feelings with Dr. Sevi, actually, since we're on the subject of that.
Yeah, that guy's funny.
His name is Bandel Yabachi El Amin.
The Moorish Treatise. I bet that. Oh shit! Yeah, Badel Yobaki El Amin. Mm-hmm. Yo, that's a cheap book. How expensive is it in the US?
$13.95.
8.47 here. £8.47.
Which is about the same, yeah, because about the same.
Yeah,
what is it, like 1.5 higher currency?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
GBP to USD. 1.3 maybe, 1.4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 1.2.
Oh, 1.2. Okay. Not too much. Okay. Oh, yeah. Since we're on the subject of artists and things depicting so-called skin color and blackface or bleaching and all that stuff. So Drake was on I think he was on an HBO special of LeBron James called The Shop. And he was talking about the whole situation with Kanye and Wyoming and the whole liftoff beat and Kanye trolling him with that poopity scoop line.
Yeah.
You know, that makes so much more sense, and that brings things into context so much. Because I was like, man, this got to be some sort of joke or something, and I'm glad that I was right on that.
Oh, is it a joke between those two, or?
Kanye and Drake have been having issues. I've known about this since 2011.
Yeah.
These dudes been had issues with one another.
What was it about?
Well, I guess because Drake was that upstart new artist at the time, and
Oh, yeah. I get you. Yeah.
yeah,
So it was a music thing, you know?
pretty much music
Yeah.
competitive, man, ego thing, basically. But the thing is, it was just so damn biased. Nobody talked about the fact that Drake insulted Kid Cudi, denigrated the man, talked about his depression. They didn't talk about that on the shop with LeBron. They didn't talk about the fact that Drake did blackface. Like, that is something to be insulted by. That is not even up for debate. Fuck that shit. And him being part Jewish makes it even worse.
Yep. If Jesse Williams did that, I don't know if he'd get the same response. Could you imagine that shit? Him just appearing on ER or whatever the fuck he was on TV?
Grey's Anatomy or some shit?
Yeah, one of those doctor programs. He just turns up in the emergency room with a wig on and shit. Oh my god.
I was getting a damn recommend. I'm always getting a damn notification on YouTube. Anywho, speaking of joke rap, you ever heard of Crank Lucas? Because that's who actually got a recommendation from. Crank Lucas. Sound familiar?
Yep. Producer, right?
Producer, rapper. He does a lot of satire and music. He's from that same area as Brother Kel. He's from that DC DMV area. Yeah. He's from that vicinity.
Crank Lucas. Oh yeah. I know who that is. Yeah. Makes comedy videos too on I think he used to make comedy videos on Vine.
I don't know. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but that's not what I know him for. I remember one time he went in on Umar. That shit was hilarious. He did a rap version of Umar, and then he just like was impersonating the situation when he was on Roland Martin's show. Oh, Roland Martin.
I don't think I've seen that one. Oh wait, I'm thinking of Rito Brown. They look similar, but yeah. Do you know
How'd you feel about the situation with Phil Advise? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, it's okay. Phil Advise. Is that the one with his wife? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
he told me some really deep things about Phil Advise, so it put things into context for me. But initially, I didn't really see the major issue. I don't have a problem with Phil Advise, which is why I never say anything about him.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't really rock the boat, does he? Kind of just stays in his lane.
Yeah. That nigga Phil Advise took my shit. I remember when Tommy's ass always would talk shit about Phil Advise.
Oh, they all talk shit about each other, man. I just something popped up. Someone who used to, be involved with Tommy Sotomayor. He's still talking shit like 2 years later. They're still talking shit about each other. One of the rapper guys.
Got you.
But yeah, they just can't let that shit go. I mean,
I thought you were talking about Talib Kweli for a moment.
No. No. But yeah, these people have got real problems.
Yeah.
Real fucking problems. They love drama. Way too much. I hate drama.
That's the thing about these these pro-blackity blacks. They love drama. These pro-black liberals, and especially pro-black liberal women, they always look for drama. And they always look for white dick, allegedly. Let me stop. I was just impersonating.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I mean, could you imagine just just being around someone who's fucking overly emotional all the time and wants to cause drama?
It's not even that I have to imagine it. I've just been around it consistently.
Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't live with that. It's too stressful.
I wonder why men die quicker than women.
Yep. I mean, I remember one time being locked out of my sister's. I think I was like 6 years old, 7 years old, and my sister's man at the time, he locked us all out of the house, and it was like at midnight. So we were on the street at like 2 a.m. and he was, I think, like drunk or something, or high or on something. But yeah, man, that was kind of well, I wouldn't say annoying, but
it was an ordeal.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel you.
I mean, that's not the worst thing either, attempted murder is a big thing over here, domestic violence, all that shit.
Damn. I don't know. Have you been keeping up with any movies this year that stood out to you? I've been so damn busy. I haven't even had time to watch anything. And I don't even want to watch a Black Panther. Like, I honestly don't. I see who it resonates with, and I see the reception it gets, and I'm like, okay, all these little pseudo neo pro blacks, this fake conscious bullshit, and this Wakanda. I'm like, all right, I probably should. I mean, I'm sure it's a good movie cinematically. I'm not knocking it. Not that I've ever been a big fan of Marvel, but that's just, I think about because music is an extension of art. Art imitates life, and whoever it resonates with the most, that should tell you the mind frame and the agenda and who they're trying to cater to. So it's like right there.
Well, I mean, for movies, I'm not really into, I guess, really up-to-date movies. Like, I'll watch movies like from 10 years ago. I'm not really into movies they make like the Avengers and Jurassic World. They brought out a new Incredibles 2.
Yeah, Jurassic World. I kind of want to see that, kind of.
Yeah, like Marvel, X-Men movies, stuff like that. I'm not really into it anymore. I've kind of outgrown that shit. Same with video games, really. I'm not really finding a buzz in playing video games. Like, everyone loves that Fortnite game.
Well, because I'm a Capcom fan, I saw that new Mega Man game. I'm like, oh, nah, I might just get out of my hiatus because of this.
This new Mega Man game.
The new Mega Man game. I put it up on Facebook not too long ago.
I'll have to find that later. But yeah, everyone's talking about what's it called, Fortnite. I can't get into that game. I can't stand it, to be honest.
Fortnite, man. That's a knockoff kiddie version of Call of Duty, and I don't even like Call of Duty.
Well, I mean, it's like, you got a building aspect, and then it's like a large map with a bunch of people in there. It's like team versus team versus team versus team versus team versus team. Battle Royale. Like how they used to have like two teams, not two teams, like two sets of 10 in a WWE ring, and they just throw each other out. Remember that shit on TV, WWE? Yeah, they'd just be throwing shit. Yeah, basically that, but video game version.
So basically, it's like Game of Thrones. It's like what's that game? What's that little game where you would build things? It's pretty recent.
Minecraft.
Minecraft. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. That's what I get from Fortnite. It's like a mixture of Game of Thrones, Minecraft, and Call of Duty.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know about Game of Thrones, but the building aspect, I could see Minecraft kind of.
Yeah.
It's like a fast building, and then it kind of reminds me a bit like I think this is the graphics, but it reminds me of Team Fortress 2, if you've ever played that.
No, I know about it, but no, I have not played that.
Yeah, it kind of reminds, similar engine. With the the whole like 3D look. But yeah.
Yeah, I literally thought of Minecraft when I saw all those cubes in Fortnite. I'm like, okay, so it's Minecraft and a tenth of Game of Thrones and Call of Duty.
Mm. But yeah, that they put a cube in there, didn't they?
Yep. And College actually made a video about that too.
Yep.
He pointed. I was like, huh.
It
It made me think about the Black Stone in Mecca in Saudi Arabia. I'm convinced that that's not even on this planet. Like the Black Stone is not even something that's originally from planet Earth.
I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't. They've got one in Scotland Yard too in London.
Yeah?
Like this. Yeah, it's like on the corner, on its like point, and it's. I don't know if it.
Of Scotland too, by the way, we finished.
Yeah, I don't know if it rotates or if it's standstill, but it's on the corner, and it's pretty big actually. I think we've got one in Birmingham too.
I'd believe that. Two reasons why I'm glad you brought up Scotland. Number one, because Halloween is coming up, and just the history behind it. Number two, because of that link that I sent you and that new site that I was put on with basically the Moors and, the indigenous black or indigenous so-called blacks.
Was it historywww.com?
That one I just sent you yesterday. Seems official. Seems legit.
I've been on that website before, actually.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I've got it saved in my bookmarks.
Nice. I just put it in my bookmarks like last week.
I think I used to go on it a few years
Why
back.
would I have to go listen to a man like, oh, you see, family, this is why I make the Hidden Colors event series, because I gotta reveal to you the things that the white supremacists don't want you to see in history. That's why they want to call me this revisionist, and they want to call me this anti-white racialist, because they know that I'm exposing the hands of the white supremacists.
He's really not. Look, Tariq Nasheed, he's like the tip on the iceberg when it comes to the information.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not delving deep.
He's just two-dimensional talking points.
He's not talking about meetings and treaties that were signed and laws that were passed.
He's not getting to the deep. He's not answering the real questions. Just like I was telling
he's not.
Kel.
Yeah. Where are the fucking ledgers and shit? We want to see that. We want to see, transactions, all that shit written down.
Not gonna talk about shit about the King James Bible and the things that was whitewashed and implemented and the things that are used now in laws. You're not gonna talk about that. Mm-hmm. He ain't gonna talk about the Jefferson Bible, that the same man who talked about so-called black people being a third human and subhuman and all this other shit. He's not gonna talk about those aspects. He's not gonna talk about he's not going to get into the fact that there were black people who actually owned slaves, and not even 50% of black people in America were slaves. But he's going to continue to use that talking point of how white supremacy and the notion of slavery and all this other crap. He's going to he's just going to try to do it in an Afrocentric manner to pander to a bunch of two-dimensional thinking niggas. Let's just keep it real. Fuck it.
There was another movie that came out recently.
Is it another slave film?
No, I think it's called The Klansman or something.
Oh, you talking about Spike Lee? Yeah.
Is it a Spike Lee movie?
Duke. Yeah, I think David Duke.
Yeah, I just thought I was watching the trailer for it, and obviously the white guy.
I did want to see that too, actually.
Yeah, the white guy's a Jew or something. The white guy in the movie is a Jew or something.
Of course.
And he's like, why should I?
That's another thing Tariq doesn't want to talk about too, because of his alignment with his mother-in-law.
Well, I wouldn't say mother-in-law, but it's like the industry he's in.
No. His actual mother-in-law, like his wife is part Jewish.
Oh, did she? But did she put him on, or was it other Jews? Or was it?
That part? Nah. I see what you're saying now. Yeah.
Because I mean, you can always upset the mother-in-law, but if you're stopping money, it's different then. I mean, can a mother-in-law, can she really stop his money?
They're not going to touch on these things that actually have a profound effect on people well, so-called blacks in this context, but just in the world society at large, with the social programming, the social engineering aspect, Tariq's not going to talk about that. He's just going to say, look, you're subjugated to white supremacy. You're a victim of the system of white supremacy. And if the only way that you can liberate yourself is by donating to that button, fam. Watch the Hidden Color series and buy my crispy shirts. You dig, fam?
Yep.
That
Yep.
bullshit he's going to
Crazy.
be on.
And that game's still up, on the Play Store. What the fuck happened to Morris?
You know what's funny? The Tariq will have shirts like more, like more us and all that. And I mean, like, look, the Moors have contributed in a lot of constructive ways, especially if we talk about when the Europeans were going through the Dark Ages, I believe. And
well, they were called Dark Ages because they didn't know anything.
Yeah, I know.
That's
why the Renaissance age came about. Yeah, I know.
Yep, they were being civilized for, what was it, like 700 years?
Yup, That's
a long time.
That's a long ass time. Damn.
Mm-hmm. What's his name? Blind guy sings jazz.
Ray Charles?
Nope. Oh shit, what's his name?
I know you're not talking about Stevie Wonder because he said jazz.
Yes.
You are? Oh.
Yeah. He made the song. I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay, yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
Was it? It's called Misrepresented People. Have you heard of it?
No, actually, I haven't. I've been listening to Gil Scott-Heron, actually, one of my forefathers from Chicago.
Gil Scott-Heron.
Yeah. I was actually reading a book. Speaking of history, it's about a French-American man who had Masonic ties. His name is Auguste Le Polguillon, or however you pronounce his last name.
Is he Haitian?
No, this is a French white man. This is not a Haitian.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And he was talking a lot about numerology, the mystic numbers, more specifically 357.
Yep.
And he was talking about how the rulerships that was going on in ancient Mayan civilizations, like there being a queen named Moor, and she was married to her brother. His name was Cole, my bad. And they were talking about the parallels that the ancient Mayan civilizations had with ancient Egypt and India, Greece, etc. And I was thinking to myself how even in those situations, a man would get killed indirectly by a woman. And in his case, he got killed because of his sister, because there was a man named Ayak that was jealous of him.
Mm-hmm.
And that still goes on today. There's so many people who get killed over like pussy and get killed over bullshit ego and all that stuff.
Most likely because those men have been raised to only validate or be validated by women.
Yep.
They don't.
And I mean, I brought that up initially because this goes back to the Moor thing that Tariq talks about. The Moor us, fam. But anyways, because it's just that white people have a fascination of the history, like from melanated people. I mean, these guys went out their way to do deep research on the ancient Mayan civilization that happened over 11,000 years ago. Long ass time.
Damn.
Yeah, because the ancient Mayan, which is where my ancestry comes from, which is Belize, that's where the ancient Mayan civilization, that's how long it lasted. It was like 11,500 years. I'm like, damn.
Wait, a whole civilization? 11,500?
Yeah.
Bloody hell. Jesus.
I mean, it's funny because a lot of these civilizations, they kept it within the family. Like, I think about Kevin Gates and the bullshit that he says, but
Yeah.
If you think about it, like a lot of Negroes will sit here and say, "Oh man, y'all nasty, man. You just like them white people and who have an inbred child, but you don't even get that black people came here first. Since we claim that we're the kings and the queens, guess what? Osiris slept with his sister Isis, but none of these pro-blacks don't want to talk about that though.
But that's mythology, brother.
No,
Nah.
but no, Osiris was a real king though, man. Just like you, king. Just like you, brother. Just like you, king. Didn't you get that from the Kemet knowledge? Don't y'all understand that?
But speaking of history,
Yeah.
I heard Pharaoh. Pharaoh said that. The old guy.
Yeah, the elder brother from my
Yeah.
neck was Chicago, yeah.
Yeah, he actually said something interesting about the Bible. He said something along the lines of, "This Bible is not here for black people. It's here to let white people know what we've been up to."
Hmm.
And I just thought that was really interesting because the first place I noticed while reading the Bible was Ethiopia. That was the first place I picked up, unless I missed somewhere else. I was like,
I'm glad you brought up Ethiopia too, Daniel.
Yeah, I think it was like page 5 or something.
No, I understand that the Bible, looking at it retrospectively, it was foolish of me to just go in on the Bible the way that I did. The Bible is actually a very important part of human history.
It's just
the Bible.
It's bastardized,
It's extremely bastardized. That's what I was talking about earlier with the laws that they implement and all that, and Tariq not wanting to go in depth with that, or can't go in depth with that.
Mm-hmm.
All you're gonna do is regurgitate another hustling Simps talking points, aka Umar.
Well, I mean, Tariq already did that with Thingy's talking points. What's his name? The guy who wrote the United Independent Compensatory Code for racism and.
Are you talking about what's his name? Fuller, something Fuller?
Yes, Neely Fuller Jr.
No, Neely Fuller, yeah, him.
Yeah. He steals his shit all the time. When he was speaking with
Jared Taylor?
Was it? Yeah. He was like he just sounded like him, he was just saying like word for word, there can't be two supremacies at the same time. That's a contradictory, all these like fucking. It was just funny because I know where he got them from. It wasn't his original thought. He didn't come to that conclusion.
Anybody who's still talking about that two-dimensional talking point white supremacy, I have to question your intelligence.
I mean, to be honest, Tariq is smart, man.
Especially when Tariq does it, though. Especially when you do it through the lens of a Tariq Nasheed or of one of these woke Negro, these liberal blacks, and all that other bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get back to what you said about the Bible before I start to really.
Yeah.
So I did a little bit of research on there was a deity known as El.
Yeah.
El, and he was a deity that was referred to by the Semitic people, which is what Ethiopians derive from, and many others like the Arabs and the so-called Jews or Jewish. No, Jews, the real Jews, the Ethiopian Jews. I'm sorry, not them Ashkenazis and the Khazars.
The Yiddish
clowns. Fuck you talking.
Yiddish. Sounds like radish. But yeah, Yiddish. It's crazy.
So, Suburban Whiny Pete, Sarge, he was talking about Jared Taylor's minions, allegedly, coming on his page and blocking one of his videos.
Oh, shit. Is it true?
I guess because he had the proof. Time after time again, these white supremacists, they come on my page and they hear me go in on white supremacy because these other black men aren't going to do it. And these other black men don't want to establish no patriarchy. And these dumb black bitches, they don't want to do shit about it because they want to hop on the fence like Crystal and Karazine. That's how Sarge sounds to me when that bullshit, disgruntled simp ass nigga talks. I'm ready to just talk my shit now, Daniel. Like, I don't even give a fuck anymore, man. This is the same dude who said he agrees with 98% of what Synthetic G, aka Cynthia G, aka Synthetic Gangster, tranny looking motherfucker who has a problem with black men actually establishing patriarchy. But you agree with 98% of what this bitch says, though. How could you want to establish a patriarchy while that's no different than when I used to date my ex who was a black feminist and I'm going in on feminism, but I'm literally sleeping with the enemy. That's why I had to cut her off, especially when she got a tattoo. That was the last fucking straw for me. Like, I already knew that I was gonna, somewhere down the line, that I was gonna have to end this relationship, and I ended it last year. But that was like, okay, this sealed it. That's enough of this, Raheem. I'm not gonna tolerate this bullshit. I'm not gonna be one of these simp ass niggas. I have to be, as Judas says, the astute black man. Like, fuck that shit.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't understand why women like her, they complain about men not being men. They complain about men not being men.
Oh, you coons and beta males are not real men. All you do is you try to emulate white supremacy, and you don't even appreciate the sisters who are actually doing something, standing on the front line for you black men. This is why I don't deal with these coons and these beta males.
To be honest, I don't
on everybody today.
I don't really see women on the front line, though.
No, they're not.
She's just saying shit to be saying shit.
And just historically speaking, Daniel, and you know this, the powers that be, the elite, don't ever see women as a whole, as a threat. They, like, you have a few exceptional women in history, I'm sure, but even those women, they still had some direct connect to a strong man.
Or even then, they were still outliers,
Yeah.
They're not the the mass. They're not the in general.
Nope, they're not.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, but she what was I saying? She complains that men aren't being men, but when men want to do something and actually create, I guess, a patriarchal system to live in to protect women, she's like, well, fuck that. You want to be like white men? Well, a patriarchy isn't a white supremacist. It's not theirs. They don't own it.
It's called rulership, just like
it's a way of living. It's survival. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not about oppressing. It's about protection. Like, why the hell do we live in buildings? Are these not for protection? Who built them? It wasn't women. I don't know any women who are bricklayers.
For anybody who believes in white supremacy, like the so-called black sector of YouTube, these so-called pro-blacks, and all these Afrocentric Negroes, why don't you try to trace black? I know as asinine as it sounds, Daniel, but that's my point.
Mm-hmm.
Trace it. If you can trace black, I will shut the fuck up. If they can do that.
Well, I mean, I can't remember what someone said. I think it was Taj Tariq Bey actually said something about black. He said, you research black history, you're only going to get history about civil rights and slavery, because that's when, that's when
the bullshit narrative that's been planted.
Yeah, it's words. It's words. You type in black history.
People understand this. So
yeah, you're going to get history about death. Because that's basically all it was. It was death.
I saw a thumbnail on Sabir Bey's video, and the brother was he had a book called The Black Law. It's like a big ass. It's like a dictionary, like a glossary. It's called The Black Law.
Black's Law Dictionary. Yeah, Black's Law Dictionary. I've got a what's it called? I've got a little pocket edition of that somewhere.
Oh yeah. Tell me about it. Because I think it coincides with this premise or point we're making.
Oh hell yeah! The first thing I did when I got it was I looked up the word brutality, and I noticed that brutality isn't actually in here. And then I looked up the word terrorism. And I found out that terrorism is in here. Now, let me just find terrorism because I want to read out the definition.
Since you brought up the word terrorism, I just thought about something too.
Shit, where's terrorism? PQR. I went past it. Terrorism.
Why you look for that, Daniel? I thought about something that you said a while back when we were having a discussion about how Islam is a corrupted way of female worship.
Yeah, kind of.
I I think you're onto something. Think about ISIS and think about the Islamic so-called radical Islamic group, ISIS, and ISIS being one of the goddess in Egypt, and Egypt being one of the places where Islam is prevalent.
Yep, Sunni Islam. Yep.
So I'm like, I think Daniel might have been on to something when he said that. To be honest with you, the funny and ironic thing is Muslims always talk about idol worshiping within the Quran, but they themselves do that.
Especially they hold the Prophet Muhammad.
Stone.
Yeah, I mean they do talk about idolatry and all that shit, but you never hear them ever mention any of the other prophets of Islam apart from the Prophet Muhammad and maybe I think it was the 4th prophet or the 14th prophet, a boy who died in a well. He's supposed to come back sometime around this time. It hasn't happened.
Know that, to be honest with you.
Yes, they're waiting for
about Jabril or one of the archangels, Gabriel, guiding Muhammad into having this revelation and showing people the way of Islam, basically.
Fuck knows, but I don't know about that. But I'm just saying, is they're waiting for a prophet who died in a well as a boy. He's supposed to come back as a man, and no one knows when. I think no one knows what he'll look like. But they made the place into a shrine, I think, where he fell down the well. I was watching I'm not sure if it was a documentary about it or something, but yeah, it was crazy.
Not that I advocate for this, but how are Muslims gonna go in on Buddhists? They can't go in on Buddhists for praying to the Buddhas, because there's a bunch of different. Everybody gets caught up in Siddhartha Gautama, but there's a whole bunch of other aspects of the Buddhists and all that those figures in Buddhism.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, everything is aligned with each other. Buddha, he was a Hindu prince. He didn't want to align with worshiping all those Hindu deities like Brahman and Shiva and Vishnu, Krishna, all that other. Like, he didn't want to be a part of that.
So he was born into royalty.
He was born into royalty. Yes.
Yeah. So did he, I don't know, ascend to godhood when he died, or
something like that, or they call it nirvana, nirvana.
Because I mean, you can kind of look at it as ancestor worship.
Ancestor worship?
Yeah. With the Buddha thing, because if he was an actual person at one point, it's like with Bobby Hemmett when he does his lectures, or when he did his lectures, right. He would pour libations. He would use certain alcohols or spirits to call on certain before he'd call a list of ancestors' names. And it just kind of sounds a bit like that, You're calling on your ancestors, which are you're their latest memory. I guess for help, aid or something.
Yeah, I was watching the Judah video and he was talking about reincarnation and how that's a form of idol worship. Do you believe that?
What's a form of idol worship?
Reincarnation. And how it's not in the Bible and whatnot. It's not in the scriptures in the Bible and whatnot.
I don't know, because what are you exactly worshipping?
I mean, that's where I don't know if I can agree with Judah on that point. I agree with the majority of things that man said. I'm like, I mean, I think what he was trying to say, and I still could be wrong about this. I think what he was trying to say was like, if somebody thinks that they reincarnated in some sort of legendary historical figure, and that's like a subconscious way of You're like being on your own dick and just idolizing yourself. Like, yeah, you see, I was once Genghis Khan one time.
Yeah, one time. One time though. What are you doing now?
I
You know?
reincarnated into Ganesh.
Yeah.
That's why I like
Yeah.
peanut butter so much. I'm just
To be honest, I do love peanut butter. But
I do too. That's really good for protein.
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
drinking a lot of warm beverages.
warm? Shit, I can't do that.
Warm beverages, warm food. I'm doing my best not to deal with anything cold. I'm doing my best not to deal with anything cold.
Not even salad?
I mean, yeah, but I try to get my salad to be cool. I try to get my salad to be cool.
Yeah. Why don't you want cold foods?
Because your stomach, I think your stomach digests warmer / hotter foods a lot easier. And it keeps me calmer. It makes me personally more relaxed.
Hmm.
And I'm more elucidated. My mind is clearer, like for me. Because everybody's body reacts differently to things.
I think there might be a direct correlation between warm food and the itis. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Most certainly.
I ain't never heard no person pass out after eating like a big bowl of salad or some shit.
Nope. I'm doing it within increments, of course.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah,
because,
go ahead.
my girl, like, she's like, man, you eat so healthy. I'm like, man, I eat relatively healthy. I brought you up. I'm like, now Daniel, she knows about you. Daniel, that man, he's a vegan. He has.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call myself a vegan, but you know, because I still got leather shoes and shit. But I say I'm plant based.
You're plant-based, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, the definition of the word terrorism in the Black's Law Dictionary, 3rd edition.
Mm-hmm.
It is the use or threat of violence to intimidate or cause panic, especially as a means of affecting political conduct. Doesn't that sound like Antifa to you?
Yeah.
And pretty much everything else?
Sounds
That's
like
using
these
violence.
gangbangers, if they had a level head on their shoulder. Speaking of which, what did you think about when Kanye said that he wants that they need to free Larry Hoover?
Okay, well, is he unjustly incarcerated? You know, because back in his day, he used to, from what I've watched and read, he used to give back to the community, but at the same time, cause dysfunction.
Yep. So I mean, there's the duality between these gang leaders like Larry Hoover, and just like I said to you, just like we spoke about last time, but I'm gonna go expound on it more. These gang leaders know what they're doing when they do it. Like, even I would argue that the Black P Stone leader, Chief Malik Jet Fort, he knew about the Moorish lineage. Especially he had his gang. The Black P Stones were formerly known as the Al Rukins. The Al Rukins.
That's probably why he called himself a chief, because the Moors deal with they don't say they have names, they have titles. That's why, like in some Muslim names, you'll see like Ibn.
Mhm.
Ibn means son of. So what they're doing is they're giving you their lineage in their name. So like, say like James Ibn, son of.
It's just like Muhammad
You know.
ibn Adarazi.
Yeah, just naming all the people
Yeah.
in his family, kind of like at the with the Bible at the start. It's like so and so begat. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. You know, it's yeah. That's why they don't class it as a name, because they say things have names. Possessions have names, so they deal with titles.
Just like David Barksdale of the Black Disciples, who Chief Keef is a part of, and a lot of these hoodlums, these domestic terrorists, and these hooligans. Like the Black Disciples, the leader is King. His name is David Barksdale, and they called him King David, just like in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything has a correlation to it. Even this is how you know things are. They understand. See, especially so-called white people. White people understand words very well. They understand the human anatomy, and I could even go into like Jezebel, like you Jezebel hussy. Jezebel was actually a queen in Israel in ancient times. Like they speak about the stuff in the Bible, like Jezebel.
The Jezebel spirit too.
Just like when you say the word nigger and negus, and this is like has something to do with Ethiopian royalty.
Yeah, Negus is an Ethiopian king.
Yep.
Or emperor, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Negus.
When I was reading that book, the sacred mysteries of the ancient minds and the quenches, they were speaking about the guy August Le Polygon, or however you pronounce that white dude's name. Anywho, he was talking about there was a Ethiopian man who was said to battle Achilles. It's like Mamun, or let me go look him up. One second. You probably know who he is too. Yeah, his name is Memnon.
Memnon?
Memnon. This guy battled Achilles back in the day. He's an Ethiopian brother who was a warrior, very powerful. Went against Achilles and then fell off the face of the earth. Oh,
Wait, he fell off the face of the earth.
I mean, he died. That's all I was saying.
Oh. Yeah, I took that literal for a second. I was like, "Whoa, what a way to go!"
Oh, he was Ethiopian king too. Yeah. I knew he was a warrior, but yeah. Oh, wow. And a son of Theonis and Eos, Eos, which is his mother's name, and
found a picture of him. Oh, I found a picture of his bust, like his head.
They have like a vase. They have like ancient vase of him, I believe. You find it
in Germany. Why the fuck have they got his shit in Germany? What the hell?
I don't even know why they did that.
Where was he born? Was he born in Greece?
I think he might have been born in Greece, but he's he's of Ethiopian lineage. I'm not 100% sure on that.
When did this? 550 to 525 BC. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ethiopis. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
I have to fall back off Pat Condell. He's doing too much. He's doing too much Jewish pandering, man, at this point. I agree with a lot of things he says about Islam, but I look at Islam differently now. Islam has been hijacked. They took things from they portrayed their fathers who were the Moors, the Islamic during the golden ages of Islam. There were Moors during the golden age.
Yep.
But they don't depict,
when you realize that you've been lied to about Islam and the true Islam's being suppressed because of a whole bunch of other sequence of events, it kind of, you look back and you think, okay, I understand where they're coming from, but they're not angry at Islam. They're angry at a culture and an ideology that wants to destroy them. That's being labeled as something. It's like with all this fucking bullshit mainstream shit being labeled as hip hop. It's, it's not. You know what hip hop is. You know what it sounds like. You know what it looks like. You know what it feels like.
They wanted to make sure that nobody would ever speak up against these Jews like Professor Griff. They made sure that they were in line. There was not going to be no public enemies. There was not going to be no black stars. There was not going to be, even when Kanye's still doing his thing now from a spiritual, mental level, but when Kanye's mind was more clear before his mother died, they're going to make it to where you're never going to hear these people at the forefront. And if they do, they're going to peg you in some sort of paranoid manner.
Well, I mean, okay, yeah, think about it. I don't know if Kanye West has mental illness, but that's how they're painting it right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Now, I don't know if heroin does give you mental illnesses, but I mean, if you're taking opioids because they're prescribed to you, is it the same as just is it the same amount as you would get it if it was on the street? Is it
right.
I mean, did he overdose?
I mean, Kanye's Kanye is projecting something. He like when he was on TMZ earlier this year, he's giving like he's breaking the fourth wall. Like that's what I saw when I heard that TMZ interview that he had when he said that being enslaved for 400 years mentally, that sounds like a choice and all that stuff. Like he's breaking the fourth wall for people to understand shit like that. Like when you ever heard a song on Kid See Ghost? Him and Kid Cudi had a collaboration album back in June, and he had a song called Reborn, and he was describing his mental state, and a line that how he ended off was he said, "All you all Mario, this is all a game, like assimilation." I like that shit.
I've never really been a fan of Kid Cudi, but I've heard he's
Neither have I.
made some good stuff. Is that the one? Is that the guy I think he made fun of for depression or something?
Yeah, Drake made fun of him. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, who's Drake to make fun of anyone? Like, dude got pissed on.
So hypocritical for Drake to be like, you're going to wish death upon my dead best friend. Like, you need to get punched in the mouth for that. Get that passive aggressive bullshit out of here. The only time he'll even address Pusha T is if he's being passive aggressive. He won't do it. He won't be direct like how he was so direct when he was coming at Kanye. He was so direct in his theories and his stance on the situation. And he was just sounding so vulnerable and how victimized he was by Kanye exploiting him and his openness towards him. But with Pusha T, he had to show all this passive aggression.
Oh, yeah. Because, musically, you can't hang with him.
Nope.
But he's got help from the industry. So he can kind of get away with shit.
I mean, when one of your uncles is part of Sly and the Family Stones, when your father played in Prince's band, I mean, and then plus you being part Jewish, I mean...
Yeah, he was literally fathered in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can see why anybody could think he's an industry plant, because I believe Drake is an industry plant. Fuck that.
Yeah. To be honest, I believe a lot of these people are industry plants.
Absolutely.
Like people like
the rapper, Drake,
yeah.
Cardi B.
Hell, even I'd even go as far as to say Childish Gambino.
Oh,
even though he yeah.
I don't agree with College about Kendrick being an industry plant. I can see him being a pawn. But not an industry plant.
I'm not sure. I'll kind of have to. I'm not sure about Kendrick. I'm not sure. But I do understand, he did come in copying Lil Wayne. He was a Lil Wayne stan.
Yeah, when he made C4. Me and College spoke about that too. Yeah, when he made C4, yeah.
Yeah. Just mad.
He's more debatable than the other ones we mentioned, but yeah.
Like a whole mixtape. Well, was it a whole mixtape of Lil Wayne instrumentals? He was just spitting random shit over it.
Yeah.
I remember he did a song over that Mrs. Officer beat.
I mean, I understand this because I've worked in music, and my best friend, who's like a brother to me, like he used to sound very similar to Lupe Fiasco because Lupe was like his favorite rapper, but then he started to develop his own style. I think a lot of times artists tend to sound like their favorite artists who they initially listened to and when they started that journey. So I know this from a personal place. And then after a while, once they start to get familiar, more confident, more comfortable with their sound, they start to stray away from that. So that could be the case with Kendrick, but debatable, like I said.
Well, I mean, they probably just, stop listening to them, other music and focus on their own.
Yeah.
And, they kind of
listening your own stuff after a while, and you pretty much fall back off everything else.
Yeah, they self-isolate when it comes to music.
Ooh, what did you think about with the BET stuff with Vic Mensa going in on XXX Tentacion X?
I didn't really Is there a video out of that? Of the freestyle?
Yes.
I haven't seen
that.
They just
made it a few days ago, yeah.
Oh wow. Shit. What's it called? Is it what's it called? Freshman freestyle.
No. It's a BT cipher. BT cipher.
BT cipher.
You know that gerbil academics had to stick up for his dead lover ex, and he was like Victoria Mensa. You didn't say that shit to him to his face. You didn't have that energy when he was checking your ass last year. You did not have that energy. Oh, the bitch in you, man, academics. The bitch in you. Oh. He decided to go at X. You see,
what did he actually say to him, or what did he actually say about
him being in a domestic abuse case with his girl? And there's audio proof of it now. So nobody.
Yeah. I listened to that earlier today. Actually, he was talking about how his girlfriend was scared of him because she thought he was going to kill her because she's seen him not only beat up. He's not only beat up on her, but he stabbed multiple people, and she saw it. So obviously she would be scared of him. Yeah. So I mean, he was obviously, he obviously had demons, and he had no one really around to talk to him about it. And then he just got thrusted into this fucking limelight.
That was just allegations. There's no proof behind it. Now the proof, straight out of the horse's mouth. Yep. Now you X stands can't run away from that shit because he's admitting to it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody makes mistakes. Oh no, what happened to it just being an allegation? What happened to it just being an allegation? She probably did something to provoke him. That's how a lot of abuse victims talk. No, I just keep making him mad. I just keep making him upset. No, man, you got to get the fuck out that relationship.
Yep.
And you don't got to run to no simp either.
Like, if you keep making someone mad, maybe you should leave.
Yeah.
Shit.
No, I just need to change my ways. No, you need to get the fuck out of that relationship, that abusive relationship. Because otherwise, then you're just a masochist. You're a masochist, and I'm not going to have any sympathy for you because you did not take the advice. I don't have sympathy for people who don't listen, Daniel. When you're giving somebody valid and good advice, and they just refuse to continue the path they're on, then somewhere in their subconscious, they like it. So I'm going to assume they're a masochist. And if that's how you get down in a dark, twisted manner, then I'm going to leave you be.
But yeah, back to the cipher.
Yeah. Because that's where it all stems from. Vic Mensa talking about he doesn't like your favorite rapper is a domestic abuser or is a woman beater.
Well, I mean, shit, didn't DMX do that? Beat on his woman? Like, how many rappers are known for beating on their woman? Dre beat on his woman? Like, Dre, you've got, like, shit.
Yeah, Dr. Dre? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Eminem. Joe Budden.
Yeah. At least 70%. At least 70% of hip hop artists have beat on their woman, or rappers have beat on their woman. Just like them,
rappers don't respect women. I mean, Chris Brown. I mean, even though Chris Brown's not a rapper, he's an R&B artist. He made a song called "These Hoes Ain't Loyal," and they danced to that shit in the club back in 2014.
Yep. Got so popular, they made a dancehall remix to it.
Oh, and I got something for all these real hip hop heads who say that's not hip hop, that's just rap. Then they tell me why on Joey Badass's 1999 classic tape, as you all like to call it. I mean, I like 1999, but Joey Badass had a song called "Funky Hoes," and in the chorus, in the hook, he said, "I don't trust these bitches. They don't never catch me slipping." This is what Joey Badass says in a song called "Funky Hoes."
Oh.
Biggie, he's done it too, and y'all revere him as the GOAT and the king of New York and the king of Brooklyn. I mean, come on now. I don't just narrow it down and chop it down to all these dumbed down mumble rappers or these southern artists. Like, nah.
Oh yeah, Biggie Smalls on Dead Wrong. That guy went in. Holy shit.
Money, cars, and hoes, all nigga knows. Yeah, that.
You dead wrong.
I mean, you could even listen to old interviews from Tupac, and Tupac was like, "See, this is why you can't trust these bitches. Niggas gonna have to start jacking off because
Yeah.
Tupac literally said this. I swear to God, you can find a link of Tupac saying
Yeah.
this.
That video is all over MGTOW videos. All over. Yeah. Yeah. I remember seeing that. I was like, I think they put that they made like a video collection called
Yeah.
Thug Angel. It was like 4 DVDs, and they sold it like back in like 2005 of like
I mean, I understand. I mean, when you get accused of rape from some broad, I can understand why Tupac would have that vitriol. I get it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I understand that completely. I'd be fucking pissed as fuck if I got
Mike Tyson didn't knock out that shit.
Yeah. He actually, I think it was the same woman he went on. No, it's not the same woman, is it?
I'm not even going to impersonate Mike Tyson. He might watch this video. I ain't even Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, allow that guy. Allow him.
Because I'm sure there are 2 things that Mike Tyson hates: the woman who will accuse him of the rape, and Don. You know.
Was it?
Who's that dude who promotes all those fights? You know.
Don.
Not Don Cheeto.
Oh, Don.
Don King. Why not? Yeah, Don King.
Does he still promote?
I don't think so. Those are 2 things he hates: Don King and a woman who alleged him for that rape case. You know, Cybernetic to me is like the Don King of the conscious community. He always stirring up some bullshit.
Yeah, he actually did I think like a 3-part series with Mr. Phil Advice show.
Now, Phil, tell me, why are all these people saying that you doing some sideways cooning, brother?
In Harlem, we get money.
We don't play that, son. We don't do that cooning over here, son. We don't do that with them crackers. We don't side with them crackers.
That croaky voice he does, man. When he gets proper animated, yo, he goes in.
I don't know what they talking about, but we don't do that over there. We don't do that over here.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Oh fuck.
Cause you need to be with a sister. You need to be with a black woman. Not this Mexican girl who's shaped like an igloo. Oh shit.
Oh man. But Tanetta, you don't understand. Her blowjobs are amazing.
I don't even remember how Phil Advice sounds. That's how much I don't really listen to him. Like, I couldn't even impersonate him because I had to hear him first. So.
Started saying the word incorrigible lately. He's been using it a lot, actually.
Who, Phil?
Yeah, he's like, you got these Negroes, these incorrigible Negroes. They're always coming for my channel. Yeah, he's got like a really fat tongue.
Pause.
Let's see. Hold on. Oh my days. It sounds like it's swollen up even more. Shit. That's bad. Oh, he's not going to be able to speak one day. Man, that sounds terrible.
Oh, you sent me another link. Word.
Yes, listen to him talk for like a few seconds. Holy shit.
I think this is gonna cover the video, man. This was good. I think this was enough.
Alright, cool.